Hello, everybody. Thank you again for being here with me. And for all our viewers, I want to welcome you back and thank you for viewing. Today, we are going to discuss something that is very trendy. But before we go into that, let me just introduce all our panelists for today. First, let me introduce Mr. Olalawal, who is based in Canada. Mr. Lawal, you are welcome to today's meeting.
Thank you for having me.
And also Mr. Olaitan Adigba, who is based in the United States of America. Mr. Adigba, you are welcome to today's meeting.
Thank you for being here with us.
And the last but not the least, Mr. Ademola Adisa, who is based in the United Kingdom. Mr. Adisa, you are also welcome.
Oh, thank you.
And I want to also speak to our customer. Thank you for all those new subscribers. We got some new subscribers last week, and we want to welcome you to the Diaspora family. If you are watching this, if you have not subscribed, please hit that subscription button. Subscription is free of charge, so that when we do the next video, you'll be one of the first people that we know about our videos. And if you have any information for us, or if you have any advice for us, if you have any news that you want to, or you have anything to tell us, please send your emails to info@diasporapanel.com. So today we are talking about the PDP. That's been in the news in the last few weeks after their convention. We saw what happened. There's been this altercation between Wike, the governor of Rivers State, and Alhaji Atiku, the presidential candidate of that party. So what we've seen is that it's a fallout of that after the convention. There was a convention that was, won fair and square by the former vice president of Nigeria, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. And since then, Governor Wike seems to be unsatisfied with the outcome of that election, and has been going about, throwing tantrums all over the place, for the way I can describe it. And we do know that if you are in a party and you feel cheated, or you feel that you cannot achieve your ambition, what you do is to either leave the party, or maybe go to court or do something. But here we have somebody who is still in the party, has not left the party. Every week is inviting politicians from from the opposition parties to come and launch, some of the things that he's doing. And it's going all about, bad-mouthing the presidential candidate of his party and throwing tantrums all over the place. So, Chukwa, let me hit you first. The question I want to ask you is, what does the Wike want? I mean, you went for an election, you've lost. If you're a politician and a two-time governor, somebody who has been a former minister, if there's an election, it's either you win or you lose. That is politics. So if you have now lost an election, why do you have to go around throwing tantrums? What does he want?
Well, thank you very much for having me this morning. I wouldn't use the word tantrum. And I say that because if you look at Governor Wike, he played a very crucial role in sustaining and practically rebuilding the PDP after APC took power in 2015. If you listen, for example, to the governor of Benue State, Governor Otom, it was Wike who actually, pursued and convinced him to come back to it. A lot of people ask why Wike seems to have strong supporters, within the party. It's because of the role he played. He supported the party financially. He was the one going around, and I must say, the strength of an organization can be determined not when times are good, but actually when times are bad and are rough. That's really when you know the people who really believe in the party. I, for one, believe that Wike demonstrated that his mind, his vision, his future was in that party, because he was the one that rallied around the people and tried to rebuild after losing the general election in 2015. Compared with Atiku, who basically left and went to Dubai. Nobody saw him for over a period of about 2 years. So this is what we are talking about. And the personality that Governor Wike has is not the kind of a person that will sit quietly and allow what he perceives to be injustice to take over the party. He is a very, very vocal champion of whatever he believes in. And I will say that what is happening now, the PDP has had their own convention well before the APC. And we can see that the Alhaji Atiku has still not been able to close ranks. Wike is not backing down because the things that he is bringing up that need to be addressed are still unresolved within the party. And practically, I don't see a way forward for Alhaji Atiku if these issues are not addressed. So this is what I believe is happening. Atiku has not been able to address the concerns and the issues that the Wike faction of the party have brought up. And if those are not addressed, I for one don't see why they should play along with him. Why should they? If he cannot demonstrate that he is a true leader that he is not qualified to govern Nigeria. This is just something happening within his party. He has not been able to post ranks. He has not been able to unify the party. How do we expect an Atiku government to unify the country? You're on mute.
Thank you very much, Olalawal. And so I'm going to come to you now, Lighton. So based on what Lawal has said, and he is describing Wike as the one who has been there for the party for a long time. He's the one who has been the backbone of the party. A lot of people says Wike is actually PDP, because they will have gone into they will have gone under, because most of the other players, like even the Atiku Abubakar, went to some other parties and then came back. So Wike has always been there. But the question I'm going to ask you is, so because somebody is a party is a group of people with the same idea, with the same philosophy. So, and if you are in that party, there is what we call, they have a constitution, So there's an article that binds them together. And one of those articles is, like they are going to have a presidential election, choosing a particular way. Now, you have subscribed to this article and you have presented yourself forward to be the presidential candidate. There has been an election, you lost. After you've lost that election, then you are not happy that you've not been picked as the vice presidential candidate, which is the prerogative of the presidential candidate himself. So the question I want to ask you is, let this sweet mineral melt in your mouth to rebuild your gums and teeth while you sleep. Sorry, can you please hold mute, please? Can you mute, please? Thank you. So the question I'm asking you, Lighton. Bleeding and receding gums, loosening teeth and decay. Sorry, somebody is on. Thank you. Must Wike have his way? Or, should he bend and conform to the wishes of the majority of the party, which is to unite the party? There's only 6 months to the election.
DG.
Yes.
Thanks for that question. Mr. Lawal has answered all the questions already. But I will chip in some things. Where there is injustice, there will not be peace. Right? Initially, they said it is in the article of the PDP that they should rotate the presidency. Right? And on no account should another Fulani Hausa come up from the north. So to say, this is the first question. The second question is Wike built that party around himself. And for some people, right, to now gang up against him, and not only ganging up against him, the president, Alhaji Atiku, right? 40 out of 70 people that nominated those who will be the vice president, 40 people supported the Wike, for God's sake, and four people, 3 people said no. And you never consulted him. You don't tell the party stalwart. You cannot just impose your thought. This is democratically elected. This is democracy, so to say. Right? You cannot just impose your thought on the generality of the people. It cannot go well. Like I said earlier on, when I started where there is injustice, there will not be any fair play. There will never be any peace. So this is what the whole palaver is hinged upon. There is no way. You've cheated somebody. Instead of phoning him, instead of going to him, meeting him, sit down with him, let him see reasons why you did that. Try and placate him. Okay, next you are seeing the ages on your side. After we won, work for me. After we won the election, then you can be the next president. These are the things I expected him to have done. Take an editorial. Look at how Tinubu did. He went away to be consulting all these guys, the fellow contestants. Right? He assuaged their feelings. He met them one-on-one, talked to them. Right? So these are what I expected from Atiku. But all these guys, he put a call across to him. He said he doesn't pick his call, so he should go to places. It is not done. You can't do that. Is that how he wants to rule the country? If he becomes the president of Nigeria? No, you don't just impose your thought, right? You let everybody annex their thought. You annex everybody's thought, right? Then you sieve it. Then you pick up the best ones.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, Lighter.
Thank you.
For our time, we just cut it, 3 minutes each. So
okay.
Let me come to you, Demola. So Lighter has raised a very significant issue about the constitution of the party itself. So, and a lot of people I've actually spoken to have told me that Atiku is the problem in the party because he has dislodged everybody. He has dislodged the constitution, dislodged everybody. That if he has allowed, all the southern candidates to contest, if he had not put himself forward, a southern candidate will have emerged, and there will have been no problem. So, Demola, do you think that this is a correct school of thought? Because from the last time I checked, if the constitution of the PDP says that they will rotate the presidency will rotate between North and South, their first president has been a southerner, the person of Olusegun Obasanjo, followed by Yar'Adua, who is from the north, then followed by Jonathan, who is from the south. So if you look at it in that perspective, then their next presidential have then been from the north, if you're looking at the party itself. So do you think that Atiku is a problem?
Thank you, DG. Whoever is the problem is not the matter now. There are a lot of wrongs, and we need to look at the antecedent of all this. you make mention of the first blood, which is the violation of the PDP constitution by the party itself, so as to make Atiku able to contest. The constitution says that the rotation should come to the south. The petition this rotation, the party's constitution, and went ahead with this. That is the first blood. The second blood is, even when this is thrown open, there was no fairness in how Atiku emerged. The last straw was Kwankwaso, when he crossed capital and jettisoned his ambition to support Atiku.
Yeah, that's not Kwankwaso. That's Tambua.
Tambua, sorry. Tambua, when his decision is ambition and supported Atiku at the last minute, after everybody have already, even when the vote is already started. And that is the with other issues, because it's that is our Wike loss, and also local loss because of the southern governors also from the party were not supportive, especially the southeast governors. Now, after the convention, he accepted his defeat. He was ready to move along, and the party was happy that he doesn't raise any objection, or he doesn't contest the outcome of the convention. Then it was followed. The third blood is the selection of the deputy, the vice presidency. He himself, Atiku, created a committee of 17 to advise him on who to pick. And out of that, 14 out of the 17 advised him to pick Wike. And he left that and went ahead to pick Okowa. Okay, that is done. Wike swallow it. Even, you see, first blood, second blood, third blood, and the last straw was that it was even sidelined by the party, not only by the party, not only that it was being sidelined by the party after all these injustices, it was even being undermined because his lieutenants have been trying to cut him off, all his lieutenants, all his supporters, and that is what drove the last straw.
Okay, Nemala. Let me put you on note, because I'm just in every 3 minutes. Okay, so Shupo, based on Demala's analysis, the simple question I want to ask you is this: I want you to look at Wike's personality, look at this whole total political environment, look at his speeches, his outbursts. Do you think this is a presidential material?
My response is that is to never rule anybody out. I mean, to say that his demeanor, and his decorum, may not measure up to what a presidential candidate should be, does not mean that it cannot be. I think we always forget that every politician in certain ways always have to work on themselves, to be able to perform in whatever role they find themselves. Wike definitely is a fighter. He's a person that will always speak his mind. And I think actually that is a very good thing. Why do we want politicians who will say what people want to hear and do something different? Why do we want that? Agreed. He may need, to work on how he delivers his message. how he says some of the things that he says. And if you look at majority of his speeches, I believe the man speaks the truth, to be quite candid. People may not want to hear it, but it's the truth. So, the question as to his personality, he is a fighter, and the fact that he is not backing down, particularly when he sees not only himself, but the people who supported his within the party being chopped left, right, and center, to me, shows a candidate that will fight for his people. That is the kind of leader that we should want in Nigeria. I mean, this is something sometimes that I think baffles me in Nigerian politics, where we see candidates, that may be a bit rough around the edges, and I would probably say Wike is probably one of those. But this is a candidate, if you negotiate and reach an agreement with, you are likely going to find someone who will hold up his own end of the party. That is the kind of person that I want to work with. That is the kind of politician I want in Nigeria, who will make promises and do whatever it takes within his power, within the bounds of the law, to fulfill his promises. And if you cannot say it, he will come out and say, you know what you are asking me to do cannot be achieved. But this I can do. So I think as an electorate, Nigerians need to wake up and kind of decide what kind of a politician they want. This is the man that rebuilt the party when the party practically lay in ruins after they lost to the APC. Atiku was nowhere to be found. We have to get to a place in Nigeria where we actually look at people's record to put them in office.
Thank you.
Not on what we can benefit, right today. So to answer your question, I would just say I agree. He may need some work. It does not mean that he cannot become a candidate who can deliver messages much better.
Okay. Okay, Shupo. Lighton, I'm coming back to you now. Please unmute yourself. And you raised a significant issue the last time you spoke, and you were talking about, ganging up against him. So now you have a situation in PDP now where Wike is calling for the chairman to resign. And the chairman has now said that he's not going to resign. He has a 4-year term. So, which supposes that even if Atiku is elected next year as president, he's saying, I'm going to sit here, I have a 4-year term. So you're going to have a situation where the president is from the north, the chairman of the party is from the north. So, and when you look at when you diagnose the number of people who are on different sides, the Wike side and the Atiku side, they kind of look like a north-south divide. I mean, if you take the middle belt, the Christian middle belt as kind of part of the South, So, do you think this is a north-south twist, a north-south divide in the PDP now as emerged? Do you think that is the case?
Yeah, that is the case. When you have the secretary of the party from the north, the chairman from the north, the president from the north. So what do you expect? All these people, right? I don't know how they want to do it. Right? When the chairman refused, but it was the fallout of the nomination of Okowa that makes governor of Rivers State to say that the chairman should resign. But the North, the way they speak, they speak with one voice. Where it matters, where it concerns their own affairs, the northern affairs. Where this guy Tambua stepped down at the twilight of the election. I mean, it's a smack at the back for Wike, who has supported you, right? He supported him to the last extent, but that is politics, right? I mean, we can't expect, not everybody that you support, you will, I mean, they will reciprocate. But to me, I believe these people, they have to come together and find a possible solution to the problem at hand. Because the PDP might not come third from the way I'm looking at it. Right? So it's certain from my permutation, APC will win the election. OB will come second, and PDP will come second or third. Why? Sorry, PDP will come third. Why? This guy, take it back movement, will come fourth. So that is my take.
Okay, Lighter.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Let me just pop over to Demola. Demola, question I'll ask you is simple. Is Wike and River State very important to PDP? If that is so, why is Atiku behaving as if I don't give a shit?
Yeah, I can, let me just buttress a little bit before a leading question, but something that will lead into the answer of that question, based on what Lighton said earlier. The sectionalization of PDP. You know, in our previous, we have realized that the PDP has turned to a regional party. It's only a northern party, and
can we mute, please? Can we mute? Except the speaker. Except the speaker.
So, and everything is they are talking about the north. So even if after the convention, when the moment the party nominated Atiku as the presidential candidate, the understanding they were giving then was that anybody, if the North happen to have the presidency, the chairman will resign and the Southerner will become the president. They renegade on that promise as well. So, and that is why most of their front-end personnel are Northerners. So it's a hard writing on the wall for the Southerners in the PDP that they are not recognized. Now, if they fail unrecognized, despite all their effort to hold the party together and also working for the interest of the party, even when Atiku was on honeymoon after his loss for the last 4 years, only to come back again when the presidential nomination is around. So it's very unfair, and it's obvious that the PDP doesn't recognize these southern members, people from the southern part of the country. So, and if you feel that we are not important, that is the message Wike is now giving them. I have been supporting the party, and you feel that my effort is not important to you, then I withdraw my support. He has not done anything anti-party. He has not campaigned against the party. He has not defected to any party. He has just kept to himself. And there is nothing wrong, and there is no party constitution that said you cannot keep to yourself. He is working in his region, in Rivers State, to make sure that PDP won the state. So if you want to recognize him, if you recognize other parties nationally, then let that be reflected on nationally as well. So it's not for you to say, oh, we value you, and when key positions are available, you don't see them, you don't give them the honor. So it is not the Wike that is working anti-party, it's the party that is working against itself.
Sorry about that. So thank you very much, Demola. So can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So I'm going to Shupo next. So the question I want to ask Shupo is based on the question you raised in and your earlier comment, and it's about a presidential candidate who cannot rule his party. Right now, Atiku is the presidential candidate, is the leader, the de facto leader of the party. So if you're somebody who wants to rule 200 million people, you want to solve the problem of 200 million people, but you cannot solve the problem of only one man in your party. Why should we trust this man to lead Nigeria? And how do you think, he should go about this to solve this problem?
Thank you very much. Before I go to your question, I'll just say something very quickly about the chairman of the party, because this is again something that to me outlines why we need such a good candidate that people ought to listen to. He didn't ask the chairman of the party. He simply asked the chairman of the party to fulfill a vow that he made, that if the presidential candidate selected by the party nobody put a gun to Yoda Ayu's head, but we made that vow. He made it on his own. And today, we are dealing with the party chairman that made a vow and is sticking to his course not to do a vow that he made. These are the types of things that he does that doesn't sit well with him as a person. So, to put the record straight, he didn't ask the chairman of the party to resign. He simply asked the chairman of the party to fulfill the vow that he made. Now, that aside, I think this whole crisis demonstrates to Nigerians, they are listening, that if they are watching, that Atiku Abubakar is such a failed candidate. This is somebody who cannot put his house, the PDP, in order. He cannot, look, we've all had to do politics at some level. If you selected a candidate as your running mate, that it's not what most of the party that are supported. There are ways that you can reach out to appease them. One way, for example, is to offer them a possibility of a role they would likely play within your administration. Atiku has not done that. He hasn't even put anything on the table. So we have a candidate who emerged from nowhere, just basically trumped and thumped his nose at the party constitution. Basically spent money to install himself, and he's telling everybody not to play, but you don't govern like that. And this is the attitude that politicians bring to campaigns in Nigeria, particularly at the federal level, thinking if you are the president, you have all powers. No, there are limits. There are constitutional limits to powers. But to put it even in a different perspective, the fundamental reason we have this problem is there appears to be a divide between the northern members and the southern members, and it centers around the fact that at this point, it is supposed to be the South that should produce the president, which should have a southern presidential candidate.
Okay, sure.
Personally, I have been an advocate for regional parties, and I will tell you why. The reason is because
Sure, I'm going to pause you. You have your time. I'm going to pause you. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Lighton, with you, I'm going to start. I want us to go to the meat of the discussion. Please unmute yourself, please. So the meat of please unmute, please, Lighton. Okay.
Okay.
So the meat of the discussion is that when you have a party like PDPs at this time, okay, you have a party like that, and if you look at their last election, the bulk of their votes come from the eastern flank of Nigeria, the south, the southeast, and a bit of vote from the northeastern part. Now, you're not looking at a party where somebody like Peter Obi has left. It's an evil man from the southeast. It's going to get votes from the southeast. So it's going to eat in a large chunk into that PDP vote in the southeast. It's gone with Peter Obi. That's number one. So the second thing that we need to look at here is that PDP has never won an election without winning in Rivers State. There are 3 major states in Nigeria that controls the election. There's Lagos, there's Kano, there's Rivers. So if you don't have a chance in Lagos, and you possibly don't have a chance in Kano, and you are tying with Rivers, I think that PDP is not a serious contestant, in the next. We only have about 9 months, or there about 9 months to the election. So the question I'm asking you, Lighton, is what do you think is the end game to this? Because if things continue, this has gone from bad to worse for them now. First, it was like, it was because he didn't win the election, and then now it's because he was not chosen as the vice president. Now this man is now inviting people from APC, people from other parties to come and launch protest in the states. He's going around, he's bad-mouthing everybody, he's saying things. It's kind of cutting the party into pieces. So basically, do you think that they have a chance now in Rivers State? And do you think they will solve this problem? Do you think that PDP has any chance now?
Yeah, DG, thank you for that fantastic observation about the demography in Nigeria, where the 3 populous states, where if you win the 2 out of it, you might likely emerge as a winner. I must say that PDP, they shot themselves at the leg when they can't manage the crisis in the affairs of the affairs of the party. It's wrong. You don't just impose nobody is bigger than the party. The political party is an association of people coming together to form for the national interest of the people. You don't just come and impose your thought on people. Right? Is he a dictator president he wants to become? No. You have to sit down around the table. You have to agree and disagree on issues.
Yeah.
Then you come to the round table, you go to the regime of right, regime of left, then come to the center and form an equilibrium. That is the way it should be. You don't just impose your thought. It is not done. That somebody cannot work for you. Obasanjo just said he made a mistake. He made you as the vice president. But eventually, he managed you. Right? So you have to manage the party in such a way that people will not break away. So democracy is a game of number. The more people are breaking away, the more you are losing your grip over the electorate. These people, look at what happened in Osun recently. So if I'm telling you that PDP has a chance, I'm just missing words. Right? PDP has no chance. Considering that the Igbo land, this guy, the Igbos, they would have gone because Yoruba has never won in Igbo land before. Since the century of democracy in Nigeria, Yoruba has never won. Awolowo never won.
Abiola won. Abiola won in the East. Abiola won in the East.
Did Abiola won in the East? Are you sure?
Yeah, he won in the East.
In the East, he lost some states in the East,
Well, he did very well in the East, in every part of
he did. He did very well, but he lost in some places in the eastern part of the country. So what I'm saying in essence is the Igbos, they would rather prefer to vote for Hausa rather than voting for Yoruba. So the Obi vote with Obi and Atiku, they would have carried, they would have won the election. And Wike, but they don't manage their affairs. properly. So that will be an albatross to him, so to say. So Igbo PDP cannot win the election.
Okay.
That is my submission. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Lighter. Thank you, Lighter.
Yeah.
Demola, let me come over to you, okay? So, and please unmute. And the question, Demola, please unmute. Okay. I want you to look at what is going on now. If this continues to the polling day, with Wike going around throwing tantrums, bad mouthing everybody, talking about himself, and just throwing chairs and tables all over the place, and this continues to and he's still in the party. He has not withdrawn from the party, but he's inside the party and breaking everything apart, like a bull in a china shop. Look at that, the PDP. Where will the PDP votes come from?
Yeah, PDP votes will come from nowhere and from everywhere. They have no votes. They don't deserve any votes. Number one is because their nominee is a violation of the arrangement or the what you call consensus arrangement of Nigeria rotational system. In the first instance, their candidate should never have emerged as a candidate. So they shot themselves in the leg in that. Two, they rub it in by also discarding the contributions of any other ethnic group other than the Northerners. So they have lost it. And I will say Wike is throwing tantrum. He's not throwing tantrum. He's playing the game of politics that the party is playing. The party is the one that set the rules of the game, and that is following the games according to the new rules that the party has set for itself. And if how far that rule game or that rule will take them to anything in Nigeria, let's wait and see in 2023. I don't believe they have set a good precedent for themselves. They have said somebody, look, the roles of the president is to make decisions from valuable advice from what you call advisors. If the first three major decisions that Atiku made was a disaster. And that shows you who it will be as a president. And not only that, he has made those decisions out of his own volition with disrespect to the advisors. He is unable to manage the outcomes of those decisions. So, is that the type of person that Nigeria wants again? I don't think so. So, I don't think they vote. Now, he's lucky, he's a Northerner. He will certainly gather some votes from the Northerners. But the Northerners know, even within his party, look, one thing that the Northern has is they have art. They know when something is fair and something is not fair. Within the party, they know that it's not, if they want the unity of Nigeria to continue, that is not the way forward.
Thank you. Thank you, Lighter. Thank you, Demola. Let me just pause you because of time, and you've gone over your time. So what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna give you guys 1 minute each, 1 or 2 minutes each, as to say your social media declaration. So I'm gonna start with you, Shupo, and I want you to look in the camera. What should PDP do now to to retrieve the trust that Nigerians have in them? What should they do now? What should Atiku do? What should Wike do? What should they do as a party together?
Atiku should actually meet personally, not discriminating for the cameras of those committee.
I mean, there's something wrong with your source of videos or audio. Can you check that? Yeah, it's not very clear. Not very clear. Your audio source is not clear.
Can you hear me better?
Okay. It's like, yeah, okay. I think we're done, yeah.
So what I'm saying is that Atiku should have a closed door meeting with Wike, not a meeting for the cameras and for the pictures, but a closed door meeting and actually go through Wike's concerns and issues one by one. He may not be able to address all of them, but I will tell you that for a candidate and for a person like Wike, showing up, dealing with at least a lot of those issues, I think will go a long way in rebuilding his personal credibility and in providing an environment where they can continue to collaborate and work together.
Thank you very much. Lighter, what do you think? Please unmute, please. Unmute. Okay. What do you think the presidential candidate of PDP, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, what should he do now? What should Wike do? What should the party do? Considering that around 9 months to the election, what do they have to do to get back to the right of Nigerians and to win the next general election?
My prayer is there should be discordance in their so the APC will carry but as in crisis management, I think you should come down from the high hopes as a presidential candidate. Don't think that you are bigger than the party. You can't. That is a sign of something to come. Where you are phoning, somebody you offended somebody have been building the party. Somebody have been in the party. He never moved from one. He never moved from his party. But you came. You galvanized from one place to another. I mean, from one party to another. Carry home the day. But they should find a way of managing their affairs. The chairman should call them. Should call all of them together. The Atiku and the Wike side. So they should come. Once they come, they should beg them for the interest of Nigeria and the party. They should come together and form a solid base to champion the cause of their party. That will do the trick. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Demola, I just want to ask you, get you to answer a different question. We know that Atiku is a money bag. And most of the time, when there's any problem, what he does is that he throws money at it. You just find out how much does he want. 1 billion, give you 1 billion. That's the end. This is the first time that money has not worked. This is the first time he's meeting somebody who is not after money, who actually, and you can see that Atiku is not able to solve this problem. It's not able to solve the problem. So can you please mute, please? Can you please mute temporarily? So now Atiku is going about and as if there's no fire on the mountain. It's not addressing the problem. It's not talking. It's not active. It's just behaving as if I'm from the north and Emilokan. It's my turn. And I'm going to win this election. It's going about behaving like that. What advice do you have for Atiku Abubakar, Demola?
Yeah, not just for Atiku Abubakar, because if the party is really serious, they need to start to right the wrongs that have been done since the primary. The first thing is they really need to urgently now change the leadership of the party to reflect the federal character that it deserves. That will go a long way. The second thing is, if you notice, even when Tinubu won, he personally visited each of the other contestants and seek for their support. He visited them at their abode he doesn't call them to the Aso Rock, to Abuja, or to anyway. He visited each one in their place of residence and tried to rename alliance and seek their cooperation. And he also integrated them into the whole system.
Okay.
That was expected of Atiku, which has not been done for now. I don't know who are the people that are advising him, but they are now giving him the right advice.
Okay.
Reach out to Wike and have one-to-one meeting with him in his place of residence, and also to address his key concerns, which is the alienation of other members of the party in the party. And if that is corrected, then it will go a long way to ameliorate the situation.
Thank you very much.
It's good enough for them to win the election.
Thank you very much. And I want to thank everybody. In my own opinion, I think that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, to me, should come down from his high horse instead of being like an emperor and, looking down on everybody in the party. He needs to come down. He needs to talk to the people. If you want to lead people, you must talk to them. That's number one. Number two is that if you really love Nigeria and you really love the party, he should resign, as he should allow a southern candidate, to be the candidate of the party. You cannot have Buhari, a Fulani man like yourself, for 8 years, and then a Fulani Annie to a Fulani man. And so I don't think he really loves this country. So I think if he really loves his own children, if he loves his own generation, if he loves Nigeria, he should actually relinquish that ticket, to somebody of a southern extraction. That's what I believe. So I want to thank you for coming, you guys. I want to thank Mr. Olalawal. Thank you for your unmute, please. Please unmute. I want to thank you for your wonderful contribution of today. Thank you, Mr. Lawal. And also, Mr. Olatande Digba in faraway America. Thank you for your political views, as always. And Mr. Ademola Desa in the UK, thank you for your wonderful brotherly contribution. And to all our viewers, I want to say thank you for your subscription. And we hope to see more subscription. Please, if you have not subscribed, hit that button now. It's free of charge. So that when we do the next video, you will be one of the first people to see the video and to comment on it. So thank you all for watching. This is where we are right now, and we hope to see you again next week, Sunday. We always come every Sundays. We hope to when we put up another video. Thank you, and have a wonderful week. Goodbye.